Marshall's Road is called the Rukmani Lakshmipati Road, Chennai, which was the first institution in India to start ophthalmic postgraduate degree in 1942. But my grandfather was qualified as an ophthalmologist as a LMP and LO. LMP stands for licentiate medical practitioner, and LO for licentiate in ophthalmology. And but in 1942 they started the university postgraduate education degree like DO and MS. It was here that the three generations, my grandfather, and the interesting thing is we all stayed in the same house in different period of time. 10 Marshall's Road, where it is a corner house. I have some photograph, but today I don't have it with me now. So in the 1930s, 40s, Dr. My grandfather lived, and late 40s, I think Dr. Venkateswamy and Dr. Pullapalli Rao's father, Dr. Rao, lived there in the same quarters and in the different period of time. And then generations of doctors have lived, eye doctors have lived there. And we have the first generation, that is Dr. First eye surgeon, and my father, Dr. N.S. Sundaram, who retired as the chief of the government eye hospital. He also was the first civil surgeon to start the government eye camps under the Kalaignar Karunanidhi Conservation Muham in 1972, where I worked as a volunteer. And Dr. Subramania Nataraja Pillai was born on 1st May actually in 1900 and studied at St. John's College, Palayamkottai, Tirunelveli district. He was trained by Colonel Wright, Authority of Tropical Ophthalmology, and who started museum in ophthalmology. And this ophthalmology museum is the first museum in the world, which is still 100 years old, started in 1990. He was blessed with 2 sons, 2 daughters, and 14 grandchildren. He represented a college hockey team, did LMP course at Tanjore Medical School, joined medical service as sub-assistant surgeon in Tirunelveli in the earlier period. As per British rule, one has to serve 3 years, 1.5 years jail duty, and 1.5 years agency duty, and then he will be posted as a native place during the last 5 years of his service. He therefore served all the 3 years of service as agency duty at Boipariguda in Koraput, Garjam district, where Dr. B.N.S. Subudhi is there, and which was in Madras Presidency. He had great interest in hunting. He had captured 3 cheetahs, 1 bear alive, and had hunted many deer and leopards, which is now prohibited. And during this time, my father was born when he was posted in Kulasekarapatnam, which is near Tuticorin, which is a very famous town in the down south near Kanyakumari and Tuticorin, where Kali festival, that is during the Durga festival and Dashara is celebrated. And there are about 100 types of Kali. They all make a dress, and it is now projected by Bharat Bala, who's it's there in the YouTube, which if possible, I will show you. And then after the agency duty, he was posted as sub-assistant surgeon at the government eye hospital in 1938 as a pathologist. He studied and got LO in 1939 and continued to serve in all the departments of government eye hospital till 1943. He worked in government Erskine Hospital, Madurai, from 1944 to 1951, and that's the time when he actually, where Dr. G. Venkateswamy, the founder of the Madurai Hospital, where he was also a part of that medical college. And then now our Mr. Vaidyanathan, who was a trustee who is here, he also worked in Arvind Hospital, which he will tell during his talk. And then continued private practice till his demise at Madurai. And he actually practiced in 15 Goodshed Street till 1962 as eye surgeon. And that he was on a rental with Dr. Sivarama Subramaniam. Now his son, Dr. Srinivasan, is working there in the same place, 15 Goodshed Street, and the same number is there. And he's having a roaring practice, even though Arvind Hospital is there, with 400 OPD and doing 40 cataracts a day. And I visit every time Madurai Meenakshi Amman Temple, Arvind Hospital, and this 15 Goodshed Street where my grandfather practiced. Later, after 1962, when Dr. Sivarama Subramaniam qualified along with my father and came, my father decided to work in Madras, Government Ophthalmic Hospital, Madras, from 1955 till 1987. And then my Dr. Sivaram Subramaniam was practicing in 1962 till about recently when Dr. Srinivasan has taken over there. And my grandfather practiced in Krishnarao Type Street, and I've seen him operating when in 1972 or so, because he passed away in 1977. He is one of the pioneers to do eye camps at Virudhunagar and Dindigul district with the help of TVS family and also one PSS transport. He was a member of the Lions Club and worked as a honorary magistrate for 2 terms. And you can see this one, this is Dr. Nataraja Pillai. You can see the people with turban, with and Dr. R.E.S. Murthy, Dr. Koman Nair, and you can see the British Dr. Colonel Worden, and you can see the hospital staff with turban and cap, and the assistants with their tie. And what a great life here. So I think probably I got this habit from Dr. R.E.S. Mutaya, Dr. Nataraja Pillai, where I also wear a suit all the time. And today is a holiday, but I'm still wearing suit. And that's my grandfather. Probably this is in 1962, and that's with my grandmother Parvati. So what a great combination God has done. That Natarajan, Lord Shiva's name, married Parvati, and on her right is my mother, and I think to the I don't know where I'm standing. So my father is also, maybe I'm behind my grandmother, I think. Sorry, my mother in the last. And then this is again, you can see I'm carried by my maternal grandfather, Dr. K. Shanbagarama Pillai, he was the landlord. And in this, my grandfather, my grandmother Parvati, this is the 60th birthday, and that means 1960. And that time probably I was 3 years old. You can see my father with a tie behind in the second row, and my grandfather with the garland with his grandma. And I'm also wearing a tie. I'm in the lap of Dr. Nataraja Pillai, my grandfather. And all the grandchildren are wearing a regular half sleeve shirt and a half pant. And I think I'm the only one with a pant and shirt and tie. Mr. Vaidyanathan, do you like to say something? Mr. Vaidyanathan?
I need to unmute him, just a second.
Power off.
Vaidyanathan sir, please unmute yourself. Thank you.
I unmuted. Is that? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Natarajan. Again, congratulations for the great family history of 120 years. In fact, I look at it this way. It's very rare for anyone in remembering or recapitulating the past history of over 100 years. I think very rare. It's a very rare scene, and also the photographs clearly suggest the kind of DNA, the kind of family tree which has grown, and today it is still spreading its branches and deep roots in the form of.
You can see my father doing the Pada Puja for his father and mother.
Yeah.
I hope you can recognize this.
Yeah.
And then now you can see on the one who's standing with the child is me.
Yeah.
And then this is my grandfather and the picture in 1960. And can you recognize this boy between my? Can you recognize the boy?
No, is that you or Shanbhar?
He's my father. At the age of 10 years old. And
Okay.
exactly we both look the same.
Okay.
So if you look the photograph here in this one, you can see this is me and that's my father.
Here your father is very visible.
Yeah. And here, this was 10 years old.
Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying.
And see here, my father with the hat.
Yeah.
And my grandfather with this is taken in Orissa, in the Ganjam district.
Okay.
And my father's 2 sisters. Because my father's brother, who celebrated a 82nd birthday in March, he was not there born. And this is my grandfather and the grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah. Can Can I say a few words again? Hello? Hello?
There seems to be some network issue, sir, but I think other audience is there. Should you wish to say something?
No, basically, I was talking about Dr. Natarajan's family tree as well as his father. My association with Natarajan dates back to almost 40 years now. And through, I first met him at a Hinduja hospital where I was the CSR manager. And then that time we were doing a community health program. Dr. Natarajan was a visiting consultant at the time. So, and later on, I moved to Government of India as Government of India advisor for NPCB, wherein I came into contact with the NAG, and I worked in, thanks to my Arvind connection, since I am associated with Arvind since 1982.
So when you say NAG, is this Dr. Rao?
NAG and I first met at room number 3005 at University of Michigan,
Okay.
Thomas School of Public Health.
Okay.
And he came, so at the time he was at Rotterdam or something, Rochester or something. So he used to come and ask me, Vaidi, if you could give me $1, I'll build a hospital. That's what the word he used.
Yeah.
And I literally remember. So I'm associated with him since 1986 from NAG, with the NAG. And so I was associated with Dr. Natarajan also around the same time. And one or two good qualities and lessons that youngsters should pick it up, I would like to use it in this birth anniversary is, one is the family tradition and dedication. Because today, most of us are jet-aged children, including my children, and they are all jet-aged, and then they are all, unfortunately, becoming cloud consultants. Because if you want anything, those days, we used to literally look at the textbooks. We used to go to the school. We used to go to the libraries. Today, it's in your Google. So in the process, what is happening is now I'm not saying it is bad. The spirit and hard work of learning things like the Chinese proverb, if I do, I remember. That kind of thing is slightly moving away from our younger generation. It is a cause of concern. But there are, one way it is a concern, other way they are all brilliant in many, many ways. I think we belong to a generation where we have seen the hard telephone with a trunk call. We are seeing a generation where a new child is born, which is shown live within few minutes of the birth. So I think it is, we are lucky to have both best of both generations. I think what is very interesting in Dr. Natarajan's thing is the love and affection and the commitment and dedication for the parents, the guru, and the God. I think Dr. Natarajan is one standing example of Mata, Pita, Guru, God. Because this today, if you tell him not a single day he doesn't speak, or I have not seen him speaking the name Dr. Badrinath. Every day he mentioned Dr. Badrinath. Every day he mentions his grandfather. Every day he mentions his father. And every day he mentions at least the God through him. Even today he does puja. Even the most complicated retinal surgery seems to be, looks like an anterior chamber surgery. I'm not an ophthalmologist. I'm just giving us an example. It's like removing cataract lens. He is doing the retinal surgeon, though it is the posterior typical thing. Why I'm saying this is, these are all some of the virtues our younger generation should learn and practice, because our values are very, very important. And this value system is what making this country proud, making this country rich. And today we are, despite 4 million people suffering from corona, yet we are a resilient country facing a lot of trouble, but still not giving up the spirit of, yes, I can do. That is something which we could do. This I have seen it with his father. Even at the age of 80, he will come, myself and his father, both of us will come at 9:30 to the hospital. 9:30, yeah. Yeah.
No, nothing. I just got in. I don't know why God is testing. Suddenly, first time in the last 1 year, my total connection went.
No problem.
It looks like God has made me work as a host, the main host was Kalika, and that's why it's working. So Kali
Yeah.
Devi has come for me.
No.
Sir.
Perhaps others wanted to hear about your father and grandfather through their mouth than you. Perhaps,
You can, Vaidi, I'm changing the screen. You can talk about my father. The slide shows the. You can see my slide.
no,
Not yet.
It's
One
not visible.
minute. I have to share the screen. Wait. Yes.
We able to see you.
Yeah,
And yes.
it's coming now. There you are.
Now you can see.
Yeah. There you are.
So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah,
My father.
I think Dr. Sundaram, as Dr. Natarajan's father, I think he also comes from Tirunelveli district, a small town, and a very famous religious town. And he also he retired as a superintendent at Government Medical College, Egmore, and he has got still, as long as I know, about a year ago, before his demise, he used to talk about the government ophthalmic institution, the elite school of optometry, and also the kind of community ophthalmology in those days. I see, I was born in 1955. So he started serving in government medical college in the year 1955. So I think I am very proud, almost after a generation.
You can read the slide, Vaidi.
Huh?
You can read the slide, the one.
Yeah, during his study of 9th special clinic. I thought I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
So look at that the area in which he started, that about cornea, retina, uvea, orbit, laser, genetics, and also special clinics. That is one of his first of his kind in the government of Tamil Nadu introduced. And look at the number of surgeries he has done. 30,000 surgeries for the poor individually, and organized more than 1 million surgeries. You know the modern day surgeries, Nag used to call, Dr. V has to call. I have seen Dr. V operating, Dr. Nag operating. I have seen Dr. Daljit Singh operating. I have seen Sivanand Advari operating. I myself have participated in some of the surgeries holding the torchlight for Dr. Nachia. I still remember in some of the camps, those were the days. I think these are the golden days of ophthalmology through which we are now enjoying the benefit of it. And look at the number of refractions, 3 million refractions in camp. Those days, camps are not like this kind of a well-to-do camps. They are all makeshift, very, very limited facilities. Camps, and they have to travel miles and miles away, go in the early morning, come back in the evening. And again, as I said, look at a century of camp, and also most of them are under NGO. So he, like Dr. Venkat Swami, is one of the pioneers of eye camps in India. And that only led Dr. Natarajan just now mentioned about Dr. Karunanidhi, the then Chief Minister, at this 42nd, 43rd birthday. The free eye camp scheme was started in India by late Chief Minister Karunanidhi. And that is how the district ophthalmic mobile units, the district camps, all those things have come up. Can I have the next one? Yeah. Have an eye for eye care. And this is something very interesting. Dr. Natarajan's father used to be fond of communication, and that too very, very the simplified, sophisticated science of ophthalmology into a simplified art of ophthalmic learning. He used to come out with the new ideas every day, even at the age of 80. He used to, Vaidyanathan, we will have to do some IEC material. We'll have to do some common man, how to reach it. And he was the one who has been conducting every camp. He used to bring meticulously all the posters, and he will take back all the posters. I think these are all some of the very good points which I have learned even at the age of 50, and I still would like to learn from him. Can we talk about the Dharavi camps, Natarajan? Can you take the next slide? Yeah. See, these are some of the exhibitions which I was also partly involved in that. And the first clinic in Dharavi was started by him in a very, very remote place, free of cost, absolutely free of cost. He said, nothing doing, don't charge anything. And thanks to some of the Dharavi people around, we even got a place which is now made as, even today we are using it. And that place is still getting 50 to 60 On a normal day, because of Corona, we are getting about 25, 30. On a normal day, 50 to 60, to the some extent, 100 cases used to come every day. And that is, the credit should go to Dr. Natarajan's father, Dr. Sundaram. Can we have the next slide?
Yeah. And you can see the old eye hospital there in one of the magazine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
somebody is waiting, Kalika, you have to admit. And then you can see my brother and me and my sister in that last slide.
And I will also say one more thing. He was not being an ophthalmologist. Dr. Sundaram taken keen interest in developing a school of optometry. Even Aditya Jodh had a school of optometry, and he used to be talking to the students with a lot of his practical experience, and many students used to love his classes. And in fact, he used to go, myself and Dr. Sundaram used to go to MCOU, that is YB Chavan Open University, and set question papers, and also come back and set practical classes for students. I think these are some of the what do you call it? Yeoman contribution.
The exhibition is there, still there,
Yeah.
in NS Eye Corner in Chennai.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has made it himself.
Yeah. These are all personal contributions of Dr. Sundaram. Yeah.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
these are the books he's written.
Yeah. See, that a lot of Tamil books, and he used to carry the books with him every time. Natarajan has the same habit. If you see Natarajan, he doesn't carry a lot of ophthalmology books. He carries a lot of spiritual books like Vivekananda, Raman Maharishi, Aurobindo, and Thiruvalluvar or something. And same thing, Dr. Sundaram used to carry a small, little books. Very, very simplified manner of explaining cornea, explaining cataract, explaining glaucoma, and these are all great contributions. Yeah, go ahead. And see, these are some of the awards. Vidyaratna from Kanchikamakodi Spedam, that is one of the famous religious mutt for the Hindus, where Paramacharya taken the whole world to the high spirits. And he has got TN Ophthalmic Association given Lifetime Achievement Award, and Dr. G. Venkateswamy Award for Community Ophthalmology, and also the Centenarians Trust, that way back in 1999, almost 22 years ago, have given a Seva Ratna. Yeah.
So he made a trust. Vision is our mission.
Yeah. Yeah. And he is, in fact, one of the occasions I remember with late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and you should see them both talking. I think it is definitely a different plane altogether. I think something like two spiritual gurus talking, and we're all the ignorant disciples trying to look at what the guru is going to say to us. I think that's a excellent memory recall I could have. Yeah.
And this is in Dharavi.
Yeah. This is the center. I think Eknath Gaikwad is there now in that.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he passed away 2 days ago. And Eknath Gaikwad was the Dharavi MLA, and he was a minister. And his daughter is a minister now. And he started this center, which I was talking to you way back in 2010-11, I guess, if I remember. And from that time onwards, Aditya Jodh Strictly Little Eyes Foundation has never looked back. I think it is going forward in that way. And as of today, more than 800,000 people have been screened, and as well as the famous Guinness Book of Diabetic Retinopathy screening has been done. And this perhaps the first institution in the country to do a slum-based diabetic retinopathy study, which is still being referred to because of the depth and quality of the findings and research. Yeah.
And he also rector of our Aditya Institute of Optometry,
Optometry.
and mentor of our foundation.
Yeah. I think to sum it up, I would say the family tree, the tradition is being carried out by Dr. Natarajan and his father, is something that every one of us, particularly the younger generation, should emulate and try to at least practice, if not 100%, to the best of their ability, because service, dedication, commitment, and passion are the cornerstones of the family. And at this juncture, I pray God and I wish Dr. Natarajan all the blessings through his grandparents and also his father. And he just now showed his Achi, the grandmother. And more than anybody else, he was completely influenced by her because she is a single man army or a single woman army till her last breath. And it has caused a great influence on Natarajan, and he is even today, Natarajan is completely a different person as I know him for the last 30, 40 years now. I wish you all the best, Dr. Natarajan, on that.
Yeah, so I'll just showing this is, I think, slide prepared by him, my father. This was a life full of inspiration. Success come from, one second, where is it? From passionate, devoted, and dedicated work.
Okay.
He made this slide, and this is what I made. 3 generations, and we are doing 150 years of service to nation because, and I always, this is what Mr. Vaidyanathan was telling. I salute Mata Pita, Guru, Mitra, and Deva. Guru is Dr. Vaidyanathan, and Shivanandan is my best friend, like my savior, and God always. And that's my grandmother, and that's the hospital and all the things. So this again, which is what. So this is what my father was a philanthropist, and he was a therapist. He was a scientist and teacher, and a sportsman and a coach. And here, which is what you have seen. No eye of any age is exempted from disease or injury, except when it is guarded, protected, and preserved. That's a famous statement. Probably why the others should start using this. And this is again, you can see, he took me to this school, which is run by Mr. Chelladulai, which is a school run in Gandhi Memorial Education Trust in Dharavi, which is next to the Sharda Hotel in the 90 feet road. And you can see my father sitting with a tie. And as Mr. Vaidyanathan said, he was ready at 9 o'clock sharp. And he told me, what is the use of teaching all the rich people? You should come to the poor school and teach. So you can imagine, I used to spend my money, take the projector, take the computer and project, and then teach the parts of the eye and how to take care of the eye. He said, if you can teach these children who are grandchildren, who will go and teach their parents and grandchildren. And then this we all heard that. The lesson learned, always give back to the society that has made you what you are, and charity begins at home. So he told me that you studied in Tamil Nadu government's money, because I paid only 15 rupees a year for school, and then medical college I paid only 235 years. I means my father only paid. And this was the scientist and my father was a scientist and teacher. My first teacher and guru as a young boy. I spent my school holidays and free time at his clinic. I would open and clean my dad's clinic, attend to the patients with simple jobs like putting drops in their eyes, helping him to write notes and hold the task for him while examining patients or doing surgery. And these were my first lessons in the world of ophthalmology. He taught me how to organize my files and certificates, something which has remained with me till date. It has become a part of my personality and a very valuable lesson. Organization keeps the mind systematic, bringing you closer to success. And he was a superintendent of, which we all mentioned in the previous presentation. He had organized exhibitions all over Tamil Nadu. And then these are the exhibition pictures. And then he made a trust vision reservation and was part of the Ayatollah Institute of Optometry and Foundation. And teaching only increases your knowledge. There is no greater honor than being a guru to an aspiring Shishya. That's why I love to teach. He encouraged me to participate in sports. Excuse me. Motivated me to become a long distance runner and a player of many teams. Motivated me to join the National Cadet Corps and also the NSS. And lesson learned is that a good sportsman can become a good leader. Stamina and good physical health are important compatriots in the long journey to success. So that was the motto of our Olympics: sound mind in a sound body. And a therapist. Can you imagine? I was an introvert as a child. My father gave me all the motivation and push to make me less socially awkward, to be more open and friendly, by encouraging me to participate in public speaking program like All India Radio, this competition. No obstacle is so tough or large that it cannot be overcome. All it takes is perseverance. I'm really perseverant. And these were my people who are mentors. And the reason I put this is all these people together, they are in the Ratna Hall of Fame, which was established in 2016. And that is from 1851. That's me again with my father and mother. So I thank my father and mother for making me this person I am today. And thank the parents, grandparents, both paternal and maternal. And this is when my parents came, when my mother was paralytic, I hired a house in Edenwala Road, and that's the house. When they came, there was not even any. So I always begin, and this is my favorite slide in many times. So each of us has the power to fulfill our dreams. It takes only one person to make a wish come true, and that person is you. And this is what my acknowledgements to Dr. Aishwarya and Dr. Radhika, who has prepared that presentation. Thank you all. And this was again in one of the presentations I made. So I think there are a lot of people in the our Zoom now. So can we now, Shulava madam, is Karun there with you?
Karun illa sir.
Okay, my sister is there, I think. Swarna. And madam, Shulava madam, you can tell something as a trustee.
Well, namaskaram. I mean,
there also is there. Shanbagaraman is there. Okay. Shanbagaraman. Sriram. Okay, Sulabha madam, you can speak.
Okay. Namaste, everybody. Today we are celebrating 121st death anniversary of
birth anniversary.
Oh, sorry, birth anniversary of Dr. Natarajan grandfather, Mr. Nataraj, and I'm very happy that I'm also part in this meeting, Zoom meeting. Though I have not seen Dr. Natarajan grandfather, but whatever today I see Dr. Natarajan, I think Dr. Nataraj, his grandfather, blessing is there to Dr. Natarajan. I also do bless Dr. Natarajan, and please, with all the blessings of your father, your mother, Achi, your grandfather, take their name ahead and be blessed. Thank you very much.
Shanbagaraman, Sriram.
Raju,
you can talk. Thanks for joining.
Good afternoon. Yeah. I come back alive after COVID. Okay, post-treatment.
Even Sulabha madam, and Sulabha madam is a trustee now. Sulabha madam, her husband, Mr. Karun, both had COVID. Mr. Vaidyanathan, trustee, also had COVID, and they are all fine. And you are also.
Vaidyanathan from Kumbakonam. Vaidyanathan from Kumbakonam or?
No, Shriram, I think we met at Natarajan's house. I think when Dad's dad was around.
Oh, okay. I think I have a little short of memory. Actually, brother of and the great grandson of Nataraja Pillai, Parvati Ammal, and Nataraja Pillai and Swarna Sammal, and the brother of Swarna also. You can come and video, sir. I'd like to see your face right now.
I just take the medicine. That's why I.
Okay. We will not censor you. Okay. Raju, thank you very much for inviting me. 121st birth anniversary, which I knew today morning. I think somebody sent me an invitation. I don't know who sent me. Samira sent it. I don't know. Okay. 121st birthday. I'd like to show one Appa Amma photo. I mean, you can see. Very live photo, huh? Raju? Live.
Yes.
Beautiful. I just got it yesterday. And I cleaned it up. COVID has given me. We have fumigated the whole home and removed all the debris from the home for the past 5 days with a lot of volunteers. That I got all the. And this one I got it. This book is called In My India, 5,000 years old, 70 years long. Written by Shankar, my good friend, and also he has written the facts about the cataract. 300 EC. 300 C by Indian physician Sushruta. The first surgery, by coaching, I think the pushing the lens, coaching, right? and which my father always says it's the wrong method at a later period due to, complications and a lot of anterior segment and posterior segment complications. And loss of vision are more because a lot of cracks are there. A lot of cracks, sorry. A lot of cracks are there. So now one important thing, Dr. N.S. Sundaram and Dr. Badrinath and me and Vaidilingam, if you remember, Nataraja, remember Vaidilingam?
Yeah.
In 1977, we formed a committee with Shankarnath with Dr. Vaidilingam, Banaras University. We borrowed the whole 4-year baccalaureate of optometry course materials and gave it to Dr. Badrinath and Dr. H.V. Handley. And Father Dr. Sundaram was the main purpose of creating the elite school of optometry at 1977, if I remember, because I was doing 1976, I did my PUC. I couldn't get MBBS, maybe some few marks and being forward community. And my brother was lucky that, and I think God destined one in the family ophthalmology, one in a paramedical, one artist like sculptor or my sister Sorana. So we really actually fortunate to have a great masterpieces like Dr. Nataraja Pillai from Government Health Hospital, Hello, and my party Parivemmal, the backbone of the whole family. Venkatachalam Pillai and his wife, Venkatachalam's son Gandhi Natarajan, Parivemmal his daughter, and the Shanbharaman boy, actually he passed away. The whole family reunited recently. Dr. Natarajan and the brother and sister went to Madurai for 82nd marriage, and on behalf of the whole family, they both went. I could not move because I was my team never allowed me, my health team never allowed me to go out of my house. But still, I got COVID. I don't know, asymptomatic. And finally, I think he called me on the day, March 28th. I think I'm right. March 28th was the marriage day. March 29th, he called me and told me why you never came. I never picked up the phone. Actually, I was 15 days. I was in 24/7 in the holy prayers with God, silent prayer, because my wife was not feeling well the last 3.5 months continuously, which I never told anybody to her. So she went to the deathbed and came back just 3 days ago from Apollo, and she's come back after going to the deathbed. And I went to the deathbed on the 10th of April and came back on 24th of April. Ramachandra, Odiyar Venkat took me 100% care, and Dr. P.C. Reddy took 100% care of my wife Renika. Because P.C. Reddy's daughter Preeta is a close friend of mine. So one thing what is all the prayers of our elders, that is mainly our great grandfather, grandmother, both sides, father, mother, uncle, auntie, the whole family. Even though we have some drawbacks, but we all are shining well in the top of the world. Especially a very big example is Dr. Natarajan. I am praying that we should get all the accolades from the government of India. He deserves it. He deserves a single man. A single man started a hospital in 1989. I don't know. I think 90. 1987 he got married. May 10th, 1987 was a fortunate date, if I'm right. Married Preeti, whatever it is, Preeti. They are still alive and they are still with him. Outside the room, but all physically, mentally they are present, along with Natarajan, Preeti Natarajan, Aditya. I pray that all will be doing very well hereafter. From now onwards, from May 10th is his wedding day. I think it's approximately 34th wedding day, right, sir? 34th wedding day. He will celebrate. There will be a reunion. This is all the blessings of the forefathers. We have an excellent family tree. There's some disturbance. Somebody saw. There's a family tree. I think Kumara Manikal has got the family tree, if I'm right. That's Natarajan? Dr. Kumara Manikal is having the family tree, our family tree.
Okay.
And we also, one more information I want to give. It also belongs to Nataraja Pillai, who fought with Hitler. Somebody disturbance? Hello? Okay, no problem. So where I left now, I forgot. Okay. What I was talking last?
Yes, good for it.
What I was talking last?
Kumar Manikavel.
Kumar Manikavel has got a family tree. We also belong to Chembagarama Pillai's generation of, I think you heard about him. He lived and he was a smart. He passed away at the age of 39. He is the only Indian who fought against Hitler. He fought against Hitler and won his speeches. And, you can see in the Wikipedia and Google, you have just put Chemba, CHEM, Chembagarama Pillai. So we are very happy that Dr. P.K. Bhaskar, dentist, Dr. Surendran's uncle, Raju, Dr. Surendran's uncle, P.S. Surendran, Vice Chairman of Shankar Nataraja and Medical Research Foundation. His uncle, Dr. P.K. Bhaskar, called me in December 2019 that Chembagaraman, I want to celebrate your name with Chembagarama Pillai. I know there's a link between you and him. Can you give me the link? I sent the link, but unfortunately he fell ill. And I also fell ill because I had a diabetic, some complication in my leg. I had dead cells removed. I suffered September 2019 to April 2021. I was in the 18 months I was in the bed. So only yesterday I joined back my foundation. I started giving lectures. And the first slide is our family tree. I'll share it later on with Natarajan after May 10th. I will share because we're making a very big presentation with Modi. Modi is doing the inauguration for me. And Prime Minister of Japan also is inaugurating on May 28th. My foundation called I Will Get It, the 1 Rupee Foundation. And the main vision and mission is I am born to D.I.T. That's the main vision and mission of the foundation. That every Indian should be in the limelight of the world, and the brain drain 38 lakhs, that is 3.8 million Indians are throughout the world, outside India. They are going to come back to India by within December 2022. And for January 2023, there will be no entry for any Indian who went out of India. That's what we are making a very mark in the foundation. Working for the past 33 years is the Secret Foundation, which is coming in limelight on May 18th and May 21st in India and May 28th in Japan. And the way I chose Japan is, I am fond of the senior citizens are well respected in Japan, 100%. Rather than India or anywhere, they're not respected, I'm very sorry. But actually Japan is the only place, and Mauritius and another places, I forgot. The two places mainly are taking the elders still alive, still very lively. The youths are taking care of them, and they are living more than 120 years in Japan. So, especially, I had to thank my brother who really took care of my Achi, my beloved girl, I call her girlfriend, Soranathamma Chembagarama Pillai of Tenkasi, Puligudi. I think he took from 2010 or 12, I don't know. Raju, when he took to Bombay? When you took Achi to Bombay, 100% took to Bombay, I showed the flight, he showed me the airport she was eating. Beautifully, she had the luxurious life with Dr. Natarajan, especially with Vani and I think Kumar, I don't know the essence, but Vani looks up, Vani and Lata, both took 100% care with Dr. Natarajan, giving excellent food, hospitality, nursing, home care, which nobody cannot do except Natarajan. Because I can see his action every day. He used to show me puja. See, I was a little away recently because of my personal problem, which I never share with anybody in the world. I only share with God, and God has given a very multitasking, which I cannot do like Natarajan because he is my brother. I don't want to surpass him. I only want to below him. I always tell him, Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva means after my father, mother, great grandfather, great grandmother, he is my Mata, Pata, Guru. I have already bowed out to him. Namaskaram for him because he likes me very well. And sometimes there's emotional problems that are going on, which everybody has got in a family, which I also do. After all, I'm a human being. I always write in my emails, Tenkasi Sri Ram Chembagarama, just an Indian. That's my introduction. And today I had in Marietta, New York, I gave a lecture called I Am Born to Die at New York Kellogg's Institute. And from yesterday, I saw IIT Kharagpur and Jodhpur, I'm giving MBA lectures for MBA students. I now floated one group called COVID-19 Rescue Group, that all the MBA students who have passed, everybody who are having money in the pocket, should go to streets of their own, wherever they are born, villages, in some ways villages or town, wherever they are born in India. From today, they are going to all streets in India, taking a survey who has got body temperature and body, what is that? Body temperature and what's the pulse? So very easy to measure pulse by the pulsometer, and the other one is by the thermometer, a digital thermometer, so that identify them, take a statistics, 140 crores should be covered within May 15th, and give the report to Piyush Goyal, my friend. I told him to give it to Modi. He said, by May 16th, you give me the result, I will give it to Modi. The Modi is just after all Indian, excellent man who communicates with me every day, 3 minutes every day in a video conferencing. We pass information to him, only government of Tamil Nadu, what is positive things going on in Tamil Nadu, what are negative things going on, no politics, nothing. And he says, you give me the facts, he has kept a reservation. And in China, we got 180 beds yesterday at Delhi airport through my friend from the China capital, Shanghai. And 180 beds with ventilator, oxygen is given free of cost. And one more Yugoslavian friend has sent me kits, that PPE, what do you call that, PPE suits. This all has come from the family tree. Dr. Nataraja Pillai, Parvati Amma, Shantaram Pillai, Sarnathama, Dr. Nataraja, Dr. Sundaram, Dr. N. Shanmugha Sundaram is Karina Sundaram, Kamala and Muttama, my mother. So, plus these origins, these blood genetics, plus my brother has followed it, and I took from brother, and from me, us, Sorna took it, and my wife recently took it. See, she was actually 33 years against my family. When she went to Apollo, I told her, pray to my father, mother, my grandfather, mother, my brother and my family and sister family. Whatever it is, pardon them. They will also pardon you. We will be rebinding and pray and go, and they will also pray for you. She prayed, she wept, she said, I love everybody. She went in an unconscious stage from my home on April 4th by ambulance from Apollo Hospital. A beautiful team came in 2 cars, helped her to get the oxygen. 46 oxygen went, BP went shooted high, continuous vomiting. She was lying down. All praise of my elders, especially I tell everybody in this group, please pray to your elders every day. Bow down, even don't do puja. Just keep the flower in the feet of the photographs. Pray to them every day morning, the 3:30 to 4:45. I think that time was the one given by Dr. Natarajan through a video. I think he sent me about 15 days. Whatever he sends to me, I read thoroughly. I get into my brain. I slap myself if we are not listening to him. And so he's slapping me as a father, because my father also slapped me, called me as Tengasi Muttal. But I really like that word. Tengasi Muttal becomes Tengasi Madayan. And now I'm giving lectures called, my name is there, Madiiyyani, Madayani. Actually, they always call us an Italian name or a French name. But Madayani, it's all, and I have one thing is, humor is my first priority. Whoever, actually my tata, mother, yeah.
12:23 I'd say.
Yeah, I just put the summary. The summary is, always remember our elders are the primary roots for us to live happily. You catch the roots, just follow A for attitude, B for behavior, C for character discipline with complete education, and that will be a full and a complete family is 100% to live happily. No school will teach except father, mother only. Father, mother, real gods, brothers and sisters are companions. Take this as a wholeheartedly. You will only shine in the world, you will be top of the world. Very big example, Padma Shri Dr. Natarajan. And Dr. Nataraja Pillai never had an award, but I knew that he had donated even a small place to the Dr. Dr. Venkateswamy of Arvind, if I remember, Anna Nagar in Madurai. A small donation was given, I think so, in 1966. That's what I remember when I was 8 years old. And in 1972, I remember he took me to Anna Nagar, Madurai. Venkateswamy put a foundation stone. I don't know if Dr. Natarajan remembers it. I remember because only 3 times we went to Madurai with my father. Third was the death of my grandfather. I think which year he passed away, I don't know. I don't remember the day. Raju?
77 he passed.
1970.
77.
Okay, 77. Okay. Wish you all the best. Thanks for sharing.
Right.
And if I hurted anybody, I apologize and namaskar to everybody. My pranam to all.
Swarna? Swarna? Swarna,
Vaidyanathan, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you get
Swarna, are you there?
any content?
Swarna? Can you hear? Swarna?
I think
No,
she's gone.
he's on mute.
Okay, somebody is there to talk. Somebody, others are there. I think Radhika?
Dr. Radhika?
I don't know.
Dr. Radhika, you are there?
Aditya is there, somebody 00. Runali, Ayasami, Tejas, Swarna, Kalika,
Swarna?
I think I don't know. Radhika is there.
Radhika, you like to say something? Dr. Radhika? Dr. Radhika,
Yeah. Good
would you
morning.
like to say something?
Sure. I mean, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think Dr. Natarajan has followed the tradition set by his grandparents, and I have been seeing over the years how he never forgets to invoke their blessings or thank them for the heritage that he has inherited from them. So it has been wonderful and it has been a learning experience. And I'm sure that this tradition will continue. Thank you.
Hi Radhika.
Hello, how are you?
I am sorry I could not take the call, but I again call back after 3 days if I'm right.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you very much. Kamalika, sorry, Kalika. Kalika?
Hello.
Kalika, this is Chandrakaraman, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Nataraja and grandson of Nataraja Pillai.
Mm-hmm.
Can I know who you are? Can I know who you are?
Sure. My name is Dr. Kalika Bandambar. I'm an optometrist and I recently got in touch with Dr. Natarajan in regards to a job.
Welcome, beautiful. I think Dr. Natarajan has been given a accolades by the Optometric Association of India. I just have now become member. I mean, they found a new group of optometrists. You know, that March 28th, 2021 has become global day for optometrists in India. That 2 year and 4 year have been classified, and Parliament has passed the rule.
Sriram? No. I
Yes,
just
sir.
want we have to conclude now.
Okay, finish.
Yeah, we are now asking Kalika, Tejas, and Runali. They are the three scientists with our Ayatejot Research and Vision and Ophthalmology, which is a research unit of our Ayatejot Foundation for Twinkling Little Eyes. So we will conclude with three of them. So I want 30 seconds each for them to tell. So Dr. Kalika,
What is the name?
you can tell what is the lesson from our three generations.
What is the name?
All right. Hi, this is Kalika, everybody. I'm really honored to be part of this discussion and presentation today. I wasn't really aware of all this rich history that Dr. Natarajan has. And yes, I did learn that, well, I always do respect my parents and my grandparents, but it's a very good reminder that I must pray for their good health and, count my blessings. So today, whatever I am, I'm very proud to say that whatever I am is because of my parents, and the bond that you share with your siblings and the respect you have for your parents and grandparents, it's amazing. I mean, really something for me to learn and carry forward. Hopefully my son will pick it up as well. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Such an
only a
honor
piece
to be
of
part of
advice.
this.
No, Kalika, the piece
Yes,
of
sir.
advice after living so many years and so many families and as patients, never expect anything from anybody, even your son. He's only 4 years old, so don't expect anything. No, seriously,
No.
you do whatever you want without expecting anything.
All
So
right.
now, Brunali and Tejas, quickly.
Thank you, sir.
Because we are already an hour now.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. This is Tejas, everyone. So I'm working as a junior research fellow at AJF Daily Foundation. And thank you, Professor Dr. Natarajan, so much for involving us today at your grandfather's birth anniversary. So today what I learned is that I many a time speak about legacy, but today actually I could see in front of my eyes what taking forward a legacy is. And I'm really, really warm with all your all your sharings and the kind of message that you are trying to give us, especially the youngsters, to always respect and bow down to our elders is something I would carry forward and consciously practice. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome. And I also want to tell the people here that Tejas and Runali and Sijita have submitted, and Tejas did the final round of Indo-Italian grant on a research on vitamin D and diabetic retinopathy. I hope with that all three of us will get PhD. Runali?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much.
Runali?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Runali. Even I'm working as a JRF in AJF TLE. Talking about sir, it's when we first met, that was interview with sir. So during that time, it was death anniversary of sir's grandmother and father, I remember. And today it's 121st birthday of his father. So from that to today's, I've learned so much now. Also, while giving a sharing, he's talking about that we should not expect from anyone. So there's so much to learn from sir. When we just talk to him about some of the other topics, there's always reference of his father, his mother, and his grandfather also. So today, while listening to all the comments and all the journey of his parents and the great genetic tree that we talked about, was so overwhelming to listen and to hear. And I would really want to take all this up and implement in my life. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity to attend this seminar, the Zoom call, and where you are presenting every bit of it. And we have this privilege to know. Uh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, welcome. So I'll just show the last part now, and then I'll request Sandhya, Dr. Sandhya. Dr. Sandhya.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
now
sir.
can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see you.
So right now, after this, I am going to wear my PPE and go to the outside the slums near the hospital. I'm a trustee of Roti Bank as well as trustee of Aditya Foundation. So I'm going to serve poor people. I already ordered some kesari. Being a birth anniversary, I thought I'll give the poor and the needy. Kesari, we call in Tamil, what is that? Shira in Hindi. I'm going to give the pineapple shira to all the slum dwellers near our hospital. So it's a great pride. And after that, I'm having a small feast with my son and daughter. I hope they will join. And this is a program. I made a banner today. So we have put see the world, save the vision, and feed the hungry world. It is sad to see still people are hungry, even though a lot of donors are there. And so I wanted to thank everybody who has joined here. I don't know who is there's an IS Swami phone, and there's one F17C some phone. And Swarna said she's a speaker or something is not working. Dr. Sandhya, do you like to say something? And that will be the last part. Sandhya is our DNB ophthalmology who made all the PPT. And I'm sure I flew, without any hesitation, I asked anybody, any work. And even for my grandfather, I made Dr. Sandhya do the Facebook Live and YouTube Live, even though she's not, she said she's not trained. So Sandhya, you can ask
Yes,
after you finish, you can stop the Facebook and YouTube Live.
okay, sir.
Yeah, and I'll also stop the recording after that, and we can do it maybe for a few minutes unofficial. Yes, Sandhya.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to speak. It's been a great time working with you, sir, because it's totally different from where I came from. The working culture is very different. It's with you is also very different. And by knowing and by going through all the great works done by you, your parents, and your grandparents, it's been I'm privileged to work with you, sir. And it's
So
really great to hear all of you people.
No, you have to thank COVID. That's why
Yes, sir.
you could not complete your DNB in what is the place? Where were you? I forgot.
It's Gandhi Eye Hospital, Aligarh.
Yes. So Vaidi, she joined as a DNB in Gandhi Eye Hospital, Aligarh, and the national board asked me, "Can you take this girl because Gandhi Eye Hospital is closed during COVID, and you are opened? Can you take?" I said yes. During the middle of COVID, she came and joined, and she had problems working here, but still she survived, and she is going to a place called Chittaranjan, and many people don't know where it is. So instead of wasting time, I will tell it is a part of West Bengal, And
Yes.
Chittaranjan is very famous for Chittaranjan locomotive. And I believe there's only one ophthalmologist. I'm surprised as an All India Ophthalmic Society immediate past president and now the president of Delhi Ophthalmic. I want to train Dr. Sandhya as the best ophthalmologist because she should do everything there in Chittaranjan. We are only 2 ophthalmologists for a city. I can't believe it, 2021. And why can't
Thank you for your blessings,
do
sir.
Delhi Ophthalmology, research everything through them. So I'm happy today. I want to remember my fellows all over, and one of them is Navendu Roy, who is in a small place called Devaria near Nepal in Uttar Pradesh. So I'm happy God has allowed me to train people from all over the world. We have a fellow trained in what is that place in Tbilisi in Georgia, capital of Georgia. We have in Jerusalem a Muslim doctor, what's his name, Dr. Omar, trained in studied in Pakistan, trained in Aditya Jodh, and now working in John's Hospital. So you can see he's a Muslim living in Palestine, working in Jerusalem. Every day he has to cross the border, cross the security, and he's doing several vitrectomy surgery. So I'm, there's a hair rising. I'm happy God has allowed me to work all over the world with fellows, and I thank Chandrasekhar Swamigal, the Sakracharya, who made Dr. Badrinath, produced 1000 Badrinath, the grandfather to serve the people of Tamil Nadu, father to serve Tamil Nadu, and me to serve Maharashtra and the country through all of you. And why don't you put your hand up? When you want to say something? Vaidi, do you want to say something? Yeah, Vaidi, we can't hear you. No, we are not able to hear you. I don't know why. No, you're not muted also.
No. It's okay. Can you?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
No. I was just saying pranam to Shankaracharya photo when Sridham showed that.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
So I think I'll stop the recording, and Sandhya, you can what do you call